You are now listening to the Low Hanging Fruits podcast. Listener discretion is advised.
Chop, chop, chop.
Hi.
All right. So I guess today we had in mind, well, Ellis's specialty, Twitter shit posting, I suppose, and perhaps the intricacies of how that relates to, finer theory, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of half joking, I guess, when I said Twitter shit posting, but I, yeah, I mean, I do get frustrated a lot when like people just really make really low effort jokes, right? Like, I
Hmm.
recently I saw like on that like someone posted a screenshot of like the Black Hammer stuff,
Oh,
and
for those who don't know, Black Hammer is some sort of like culty thing where their whole shtick is calling everybody crackers and colonialists, and like
yeah,
even
and
like
there,
even like indigenous people. Like what happened is I think they bought some land, like 200 acres or something, in like a mountainous region, but then they didn't consult, for decolonization purposes, then they didn't consult the indigenous people who probably have a right to that land, and then just called them like parasites or crackers, and yeah.
yeah, and they're anti-Semites, so
Yeah,
like,
very. Yeah, they did call what the
yeah,
it was a Jewish person who was like, wait, like just talking about the tribe in question, and they just
yeah,
repeatedly quote tweeted them and called them parasites, or the more
yeah, and
the more like a blatant example, which is obviously trolling, right? It's trolling, but they probably like the fact that they're doing that is quite indicative. Like they're just like bragging about just burning Anne Frank diaries to keep warm at night.
yeah,
And then Anne
yeah,
Frank is like a
I,
Becky and a Karen and a colonizer.
yeah, and I think I saw like someone post about someone post like a screenshot of them like uh, I mean them saying stuff about Anne Frank again. I'm not sure what it was, and I think under that I saw people come back to the topic of shit posting. I saw people make jokes like um, I did not see that coming or um,
Oh, the usual.
yeah,
Yes, that's
and I mean I just it just makes me yeah, I mean that makes me a bit mad because like sometimes I see posts like where you can tell like some they put really a lot of effort into it, right?
mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate like the creativity that went into that, and like when you get like a few hundred likes on the joke that literally everyone makes, literally always is made on a viral post
Mm.
where like the joke is yeah to do with Nazis or whatever. I think it was on like it was actually not on Black Hammer, but on that post about that like news article about Hitler and him being into uh, kink, weird kink stuff or
Oh,
something.
right, that he was incestuous with his niece, I think, and that he is like getting pissed on. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah, that was it. It's hard to confuse. It's hard to like tell apart the Nazi discourse on Twitter sometimes, but yeah, I mean, it really frustrates me when people just like, it's not even that I think like, whoa, this is so offensive. I mean, I do think it's offensive. I think it's like offensive to comedy, right? Like, I mean, come on. Like,
It's
yeah, I can't actually imagine being the person who likes a tweet like that. Like, I
you would
mean, I
you would
wonder is that the first is
you
that the first time they saw that joke or
I mean, people,
yeah.
I don't know, there's some people who are like very like they keep their likes very specific. But then there are people who just like I guess like me, to just know that, you know, I saw this, I read this before. Maybe to keep track, and also as just like compulsion thing where it's like, oh, I gotta fill out the heart, I gotta pump it full of love, and just click, 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 click. I don't know, maybe
I
something like
mean,
that.
I get that if it's like in your mentions, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people have like where you kind of like everyone who replies to you
Mm-hmm.
in even a slightly positive context, right? But I mean, if you just see a post somewhere and you think, it's not that great, like you're not gonna like it, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, not me. I mean, I see all the time people saying like, "Oh, I'm out of likes. I'm in like jail," right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Twitter like limits uh, their ability to like tweets because they
Wait,
like
what?
so much.
Real? That's never.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
has literally never happened to me. Literally never.
it's never happened to me either because I have standards, right? But like some people don't, and
I mean, I
they
don't. I
they.
don't. Even then, I've not hit that limit. And I wonder what it
I
is.
mean,
Or is it because like they got a restriction on their account at some point, and so they have that limit? I don't know.
I'm not sure, but I think you don't have standards, but like probably when you look at the likes of one of these people that has their likes limited, I mean, compared to them, you probably have standards in terms of what you like.
I mean, I'm looking through right now, and all I see are bangers. Like my likes right now is just a bunch of memes. I mean, yeah, it's a bunch of memes, and then oh, young Newcon posting, and then a bunch of memes. Doe being very, very cute, and they're, you know, the hooves. Yeah.
Let me see. I don't actually have like a lot of likes. Yeah, the last one is from like yesterday,
Oh,
and
that's.
beyond that is just mainly things in my replies and
I mean,
yeah.
it depends because it only shows the time that the post you liked is at, so it might not be indicative. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not sure, but like, yeah, it's weird. I mean, I guess people use Twitter differently, but I mean, it gets frustrating because, like, I think usually the the best posts, right?
Hmm.
Like the posts that like are most indicative of like real real creativity by like the person who posts them. They usually, in my experience, get stuck at around like 1 to 200 likes, and I mean, yeah,
It.
but
Yeah. I mean, it
yeah,
depends. It depends on like because the thing is, there's some tweets or memes that are just very specific to something. To just a little niche on
yeah,
Twitter. I mean, I say this, but I once made like a joke tweet about like like the four like horsemen of what the fuck was it? With Muke, football, soccer, the leg.
yeah,
Oh God, yeah, the doing leg days is mandatory, and like doing like anything upper body is counter-revolutionary guy.
that was like Marxist soccer.
Yeah, Mark's the soccer. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I once did a meme of like Jason Unruh, him, Muke, and Donald Parkinson together to as like
yeah, I
as a
remember that.
parody of like the infamous the four e-girls
There
thing
was another version of that. I'm not sure
with
which one
me
you posted, but
with me,
yeah,
Lexi,
yeah.
Rosa, and Maria.
No, no, another version where like it was Muke, or like I'm not sure if it was Muke. One of those three was out of it, and instead of them, it was you. But I'm not sure if you
Oh
posted
no,
that
no,
one.
that was a initial pitch, but then I was like, wait, I'm not gonna self-insert. Then I saw like, wait, oh wait, I can put Muke there. Yeah. See, I beta test
Yeah,
my memes. I was like, that is a bit too egotistical of me to just
yeah,
self-insert.
I do that sometimes too.
Yeah.
I had
Self-inserting.
once like I had once like you know Mayo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like from Younger Aliens podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he once came to me with an idea of like a tweet where it was like it was like about like how people say like oh anarcho-primitivism is transphobic, and he had like a tweet idea of like um,
Oh, we're learning.
I
It's
think
Young is shit posting through Alyssa.
not young Mayo. um,
Mayo. Oh, Mayo.
Mayo.
Okay. I
I
heard. I'm
I said it
almost
wrong.
Mayo. Okay, yeah, no Mayo. Okay.
No, Young wouldn't ask me for advice on shit posting. I think. Um, but he proposed like he he basically had an idea for a meme, but it had like his idea had the word tranny in it, right? And he basically said like,
Mm,
I can't say that, right? But you can.
of
So do
course.
you want to post it for me? And I was like, okay, sure, I like the idea, but uh, I don't like the image you're using, right? It was like I
Uh,
think a, Sim, a Simpsons thing or something, and of like Homer or Family Guy. I'm not sure.
mm,
And it was like Homer or Peter Griffin or whatever as like a primitive like person, you know, the stereotypical like uh, image of that, and it was uh, them with a sign, and on that sign it would then like say no trannies allowed, right? And I I proposed it to be a SpongeBob meme instead, where it was like primitive SpongeBob, and yeah,
Oh, I think I remember
the,
now. I think I remember. Oh, yeah, no, that was a good post.
yeah, that one was by Mayo. Um,
I see.
I don't think I can find it because like I just posted the image, but yeah, that was that was very good. But yeah, I mean that's I think that's one of the only times I've had like someone else post through me. But yeah, I think what you said, like there's a lot of jokes rely on kind of an in-group thing, right?
That's my
Like kind
special.
of
That's my
inside jokes.
specialty. That is my fucking specialty.
Yeah,
Remember like the videos
yeah,
of
and
just yeah, yeah. There's too many to count. I mean, oh wait,
inside KR.
I need to know. Do you have a folder where you keep all the memes you've done to make sure you don't mix them up with the
No,
what?
no.
Wow, you are you're see, I don't even do it to like brag about it really. It's just because I want to like need to know which I did. Because a lot of times, it's funny. One time somebody reposted a meme of mine, like not even a day after I had posted it initially, and I had made from scratch. And then I was like, meme jacking. It's like, huh, what? No, I saw this on Instagram. It's like, wait, what? You saw this on Instagram? And yeah, apparently, people smuggle out my memes sometimes. I don't know still. It depends.
I, I guess I don't mind too much. I saw like my famous
Oh yeah,
uh, Chad turns out to be a virgin meme. I, s- I noticed it because I did like I was kind of curious. It's not like I mind if it's reposted, but I was kind of curious where it got reposted, and I saw one person posted like on Twitter too, but I'm not sure what they did exactly, but they kind of made it into like a different joke with like the caption they added like
mm,
um, yeah, I mean they made it into like a different thing, so like I mean that's fine. Like it's not like they kind of just repurposed my meme for like a different joke, and I think they didn't. They get like 26K likes or something.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind that too much if it's like repurposed for another end. Like, I mean, one of my previously biggest biggest tweet ever, right? It was like a, I've complained about this so much. I think it was at like 50K or something, 30, 40. I'm not sure, but
Mm, the the
it was
urinal
like
thing, the urinal thing.
yeah, it was like I saw it on like a subreddit, right? Because
Mm.
back then I was just looking through subreddits for shit to steal,
I've done that
and
too
I
sometimes. Just
yeah, I mean those are
scroll.
the desperate times where you're not really creative, right? And
Yes.
like I grabbed that image and I just reposted it on Twitter, and I was like, what the fuck, right? And got really big, and then I saw it later. I saw it reposted in the same subreddit, right? And someone in the comments said source, and they linked my tweet.
Oh my God. Oof. That's Inception.
Yeah, so the same subreddit where I stole it from, um, there it got reposted, and then they linked it back to me as me being the origin, like the origin of like that screenshot of like, yeah. I mean, it's that was very funny. I think that's like how most memes circulate. It's just like
No one
it
remembers who like. Well, if they're well, actually, there's some people who just literally just tag their memes or put like a watermark on it. And that's the biggest fucking loser energy ever. I feel it's just why? Why would you do this? It's very uh, like under communism, there's not gonna be any fucking watermarks. That's for sure. Especially not people who fucking watermark their memes. They're actually just going to a fucking re-education camp, unironically. Horizontal labor, like re-education camps for people who fucking watermark their memes.
yeah, non-hierarchical, but only for that. Yeah, no, I don't really get it because like what how do you expect like to use that? Like, I mean, if you make a meme, right, and it's really original, right, then you can just recognize when someone has reposted it. But like, if you put a watermark in there, like, do you expect like your call outs to go like that people will go like, oh my god, this is such a great injustice that was done to you. Do you expect anyone to care? I
Mm.
I'm not sure why people do it.
Well, actually, well, I don't notice it like too much, but there's a thing that
I don't.
as SDL would like is something SDL would do where he would post like a video template for me for like memes he did, but the video templates were had a little watermark on the bottom, but I feel that most people don't even fucking see it, so I don't know why he did that, other than I don't know. Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, I yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I never really see that happen. I know there's like what those meme sites. There's like the little watermark of the site name, right? And of course, in Face app, you have like below it says Face app.
Alyssa
Sometimes,
is a specialist of face tapping stuff. Sometimes I ask her.
yeah.
Oh God, yesterday
I mean,
I saw a face app that you did, I think, of Bordiga and me with a fucking dog collar on. Well, uh,
I
like
really don't know why I get asked for help about with the Face app because it's so simple, right? It's like
I don't have it. And like
here
when
record.
I try, it's this fucking garbage. I don't know what the hell. Like I
I
guess you have to.
I saw you post a Face app thing the other day with like I'm not sure, Marx and Bordilla was, I think, or
Yeah.
two other people that I didn't make. How did you get that then? Is it, did you ask someone?
Yeah, I think I asked someone.
Yeah, is it like a Android thing then? Is it not like on Apple or is
It
it not?
no, it is. It's just like every time I try it, it's just like horrible shit compared to like what people get to manage to get out of it. Or maybe I'm just not good at selecting like uh you know good pictures that will work. Maybe I'm just impatient. Maybe I just I like
One thing I do know is when like you do like the one thing I've noticed is that like if you put if you do anything where it like increases the hair length of like a person, right? Like you can increase hair length or you can like do click like female and then like they get longer hair too. If you do that, um, or no, I mean the other way around. If like if they have long hair and you make it so that their hair becomes shorter by clicking male or by clicking haircut,
hmm.
then like the area that's covered uh, by the hair gets all weird, right? Because it's like an
Oh yeah.
AI, so it kind of has
And
to
yeah, and
make
like the shirt textures, like whatever clothes you have
yeah
on gets affected by the you know what you what the program has to do to get the hair to extend your
yeah.
hair or whatever.
So if you're ever doing like a thing where you're shortening someone's hair, um, it's best if there's a pic, is like if there's like a picture where their hair is like back, so it doesn't cover any of their clothes.
Hmm.
But beyond that, I mean, I just pick like two two pictures, and usually it comes out fine. Yeah, I mean, I don't
You're
really.
just lucky. It's just luck. It's just fun.
I know that there's one like Pol Pot picture, that famous one, right?
Oh,
Um,
the one that everybody likes to post edits of.
yeah, where there's like edits of like him smiling, you know.
Yeah.
That one, I found that that one doesn't work on anything, which
Really?
is also yeah, which but it's also really good for memes because I once posted like face app of that photo of Pol Pot and like Noam Chomsky, and it just showed the same face of Pol Pot. so so the
Oh.
meme was, oh, they're the same
Well,
person.
oh my, no, I remember that meme. Oh, that makes it even fucking funnier.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I kind of wanted it to. Initially, I thought like, okay, so this is going to merge them, right? Because back then they didn't have like the face swap feature yet, which is a lot better. But yeah, it didn't work. So and the result was even funnier. So I posted it.
See, I wouldn't have known that. So the infamous Pol Pot picture somehow has the exact thing needed to make a face app just shit itself.
Yeah, I
That's
think it's just really something to do with like it being blurry or something. But I'm not sure because I've used other pictures which were blurry and well, it doesn't really come out like good looking and not something I would use, right? It does change like the picture, right? And with the Pol Pot picture, it doesn't do that at all. So I'm not really sure why it doesn't work. Maybe it's just like a me thing, and other people have
I think
managed to get it to work. But
I think it's
I,
just, you know, the spirit of Pol Pot inhabits that picture eternally.
yeah,
Pol Pot
yeah,
never
probably.
Pol Pot never actually died. He just yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now, now that now that you now that we are talking about Pol Pot, I I find Pol Pot memes pretty interesting because I mean nobody really is like in favor of Pol Pot, right? Because
I mean,
I mean
they're
nobody who
really
makes those.
no, no,
I
no, no,
know.
no, 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 nobody. But yeah, there's always there's an interest. Yeah,
Yeah, there's always a group out there somewhere, but like the people who make those memes. But like I think there's a couple a couple of dimensions as I have come to understand the Pol Pot memes. There's a couple of dimensions to them, right?
mm,
And let me know if I get this right. So the first is kind of the like um, kind of like a joke among like left coms and whatnot, and I mean Marxists who get called left coms but aren't really, and like that group, and they uh, like and how Marxist Leninists or Stalinists um,
yeah.
often resort to like defending just about anyone. I mean, there's like there's like people defending Iraq as a socialist republic, Assad. I've seen people defend Putin on the same grounds, right?
Oh, like
And
there's a infamous thread that was just defending the Iraqi Ba'ath Party. It's just
yeah,
like literally who like are just people just massacred, like liquidated the entire Communist Party, if I remember correctly. Like, like I mean, there was always going to be people defend that, and I
yeah.
mean,
So there's like this whole group of like campists and like Marxist Leninists and
and sometimes just
Parenti
it's just
stands.
and it's sometimes just like nationalists. Sometimes
Yeah,
it's hard to I appreciate the nationalists a lot more who don't try to like mask it in like Marxism or whatever the veneer of it, and they're just like, yeah, I'm a nationalist, yeah, genocide, that's good, yeah, let's go. And I prefer that. It's just straight to the point. None of
and
this fucking bullshit.
yeah, and I mean then in contrast to that group, there's like the people who get called left coms, which is I mean some of them left coms, not all of them, most of them not.
No,
And
it just became a meme to just be like, oh, you care about commodity production being abolished,
yeah, I
and
also
just
did like only a, I, I said something once like only a left com would start off capital by talking about commodities. um, but like there's like this contrast between this group who will defend just about any group and like the left comes or right people who get called that who will always kind of like say, well, that wasn't real socialism, which I mean, I agree with it, right? But like, um, that's more or less the caricature, right? And the stereotype, and um, it's what I think one of the things which the Pol Pot meme kind of gets at is that it would be very funny if like the left comes then starts uh, like advocating for the one person that other group just won't touch, the one person where they say like, okay, he went too far, and that they start saying, oh, he was the only one who got it right. I think that's part of the joke,
I
but
mean,
it's
it's part of the
also
joke, but also it's just like, I mean, he blew up a bank. There was the whole thing with the money where he just like
yeah.
there's a attempt at like
uh, w-
abolishing money, and it's just like is like it's so crazy and wacky that and like also there's like let me
yeah,
say
blowing up the central bank. That's like I think it's that's where like the he abolished value meme
yeah.
comes from,
I
right?
mean, he also
That's
there was a meme, a Pol Pot meme, uh, that basically he just like murdered the entire urban proletariat, and so if you don't have a proletariat, you can't have capitalism. And it's like, what the fuck? He actually he played the four-dimensional chess on us. That's why he's a left com.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I, I once made like I think a clever like play on like the blowing up the um, like the central bank thing, and I I did like I I looked for like Photoshop. No, I looked for like a photo of like a one of those blow up castles,
Blow up castles. What do you mean?
inflatable, right? Like
Oh, okay,
uh,
those. Yeah, yeah. Then I get what you mean.
yeah, and I looked for one of those where it has like a thing on the top where I can kind of like write in, and like I made sure it said there like central bank, and then I did like,
Oh.
oh, so this is what they meant when Pol Pot blew up the central bank. Uh, I mean, I think he's just like a wacky figure to like take shots at, and especially like the tension between those two groups.
I
It
mean,
makes it kind of an in joke, which to an outsider makes you look like insane,
yeah,
which is
I
also
honestly,
funny.
I really do wonder, like somebody who like just sees this as Pol Pot memes, I wonder what they would think, or if they would like quickly start to catch on. There's okay, this is like so ridiculous. There's something going on there. It's possible not, but
Yeah,
the
I'm not sure. It depends on how um, yeah how outside they are. I think like
how you mean
yeah.
they've touched grass? You mean?
No. I mean, if they're like kind of vaguely familiar with like at the very least stereotypes about like this crowd that's like posting pop memes of like, oh, they're like armchairs who always say it's not real socialism. If they're kind of vaguely familiar with that, I could kind of see them deducing that it's like not not serious, but like there's a lot of liberals who are like really obsessed with like exposing the tankies, right? And I
Yeah,
think
this.
they'd be too blinded by that to even consider that it's all
I
a
really do
joke.
wonder how that would go. I mean, maybe some have. I mean, it would be really funny if yeah, one of those like really strident anti-tanky rad libs did a whole thread on Pol Pot and just like doesn't like reference anybody, but just like there's been a growing fandom for this guy. It's just horrible, these tankies, and you just find out that oh, and then like just screen caps like people for that are probably our mutuals, just like doing Pol Pot memes or whatever, and it's just this
Yeah,
whole that'd be fun. Maybe it's already happened. I don't know. Maybe
it's probably already happened. I mean, it has to have. And I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe it has happened, but I just forgot I saw it. But
me too.
yeah, I mean, it feels like something I've already seen, but I can't really say for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think it's usually the more inside the joke is, right? The more hilarious it is. Because, like, um, yeah, I mean, if it's a joke like that you expect, like, the whole internet to get,
Then like I don't know. It's just
yeah,
lowest common denominator. I'm gonna be an elitist about my memes. This is why like
yeah,
one of the things I like to do is just attach like whenever I do one of these really esoteric memes, I'm like, if you get like any of this, it's fucking over for you. It's literally over. You will never know the touch of a man, a woman, or an NB ever again.
yeah. It's, I mean, but I also think that applies to like friend groups, right? Like, yeah, like people, if if you have like a friend group you regularly hang out with, like maybe 4 or 5 people or six or whatever, and you have like jokes among those are usually way funnier than if it's like a joke like among um, like a Twitter group of like several hundred people,
Hmm.
because like I mean it's yeah, it's much more personal, I guess, because I mean you're kind of also you, um, I don't know, I guess it's like making inside jokes like that is also kind of a form of like
It's like
um,
it helps. Uh, it's upmanship almost, right? Where you're just like,
yeah.
oh, you think you're a nerd? Well, watch this. Or this is just like you're competing within your friend group about who can put out like the like. Well, you're kind of straddling the line between just like, okay, how many likes can I get on this tweet while it being like the most like zero pussy shit ever?
Yeah, but like if it's like like an inside joke that you and like maybe 3 or 4 friends, only you three or four would get, like it's not something you could even post to Twitter. Like
Yeah.
I think those are maybe the most hysterical. There was this,
I'm not
I
very
mean,
specialized in that. I always post, I always create memes in mind for posting in public.
yeah,
Usually I have some, well, actually, I do have a few forbidden memes, but
there's like this there's this one kind of inside joke we once had where me and a couple of friends, and there was like this guy in our class, and he would consistently just always come too late, right? He would always come too late, and I mean, we were always kind of slackers and like right, like not the most model students or whatever. So we kind of admired it, right?
hmm.
And um, when he would come late, it was always with like a sandwich and a coffee, right? So he, when he was too late, uh, he decided beforehand, like, okay, I'm already too late. I'm gonna get a sandwich and some coffee, and then I'm gonna come inside, right?
Hmm.
And I mean, there was one time where he was like, we were on like a school trip, right? And we had to go like independently to, I think it was like not our capital, but like where like our government seat is, right? Like The
Hmm.
Hague,
Yeah.
also where like International Criminal Court is, and we had to go there independently, and we had like um, made sure like okay, we have to meet at like the train station, like with our class, right? And when we were there, he wasn't there, right? So we went to like the government building, and we went through security, and like we went to like a hall where they had like set up a little presentation for us, and like we were like sitting there, and in the middle of the presentation this guy comes in with a coffee and a sandwich,
Oh my God.
and yeah, I mean the,
Damn.
that's the kind of iconic stuff
That's
where
iconic. What
we
a king.
yeah, and I mean we said like he probably had like he's probably in this been in this situation before where he's like late on a school trip, so I mean he has experience in this, and I mean we weren't we were sort of friends with that guy, right? He was nice but not really close, and we kind of remained friends after like after we dropped out, and
Hmm.
uh, I mean we continuously kept like the joke of like kind of memeing him, and only we would understand that, right? Like if anyone else joined us, unless they had been in that class, unlikely, then
Right.
yeah,
So
then they just wouldn't get it, and that's the kind of stuff I think like
because
that's the most hysterical.
it relies on like lived
Yeah,
shared like lived experience, right? It's not
yeah,
like even if you explain the whole context, then like just it's not something you can just easily like joke about, even if you know like if you, even if you've been like told what is funny about it. It's just something you feel like in your gut
yeah,
almost, or it's just like
yeah,
like a reaction to the whole situation.
yeah. I mean, it's yeah, it's. I think it's also kind of a way of like deepening like relationships through like the experience you've been through together, right?
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I mean, in that sense, like Twitter, um, like inside jokes could be kind of seen as like, I mean, maybe this is too grand a term, right? But like deepening the ties, or like community. I mean,
In
of
good or in
I'm
bad
not sure if it's
ways.
like a, I'm not sure if you could call it community, a community, right? But like it's kind of deepening the ties within like a certain Twitter sphere. If you make inside jokes, right? Because like everyone who gets it kind of um, will feel like, oh, I mean, I guess I'm kind of familiar enough to with these people to get their inside jokes. Anyone, any outsider would think this is insane. I'm an insider now, right? I think it kind of functions like that too.
It's a bit I mean, it's not just for memes. When you're part of like a little something that like that, it does it gives you kind of a bit of a warm feeling of like, shared oh my god, I can't pronounce com camar camar oh camar
Camaraderie.
camaraderie. Oh god. Sometimes I hang up on these words because I don't tend to speak.
It's the Canadian. It's the
No,
Canadian in
I
you.
don't. It's just I don't speak a whole lot, you know. So sometimes I
Yeah,
trip up on my words. S yeah.
yeah. I guess it's kind of like that. Yeah, yeah. It's weird how jokes function, and I think one other thing too, which is slightly related, and I've said this before, is like how I kind of look at puns as like I think puns are kind of the universally inoffensive uh, type of
Yes.
joke, because um, and I think that's very interesting because um, like the clue, like the thing that makes the joke funny is always like, oh, you use this word in a different sense than I expected you to use it, or than like we normally use it, right? And I mean, I think that's funny because like people always say like there's some topic you can't joke about, right? If you're a certain person, right?
Hmm.
Like cis people can't make jokes about trans people, etc., right? And
Hmm.
I don't really buy that, right? I
Yeah.
think um, I think it's I mean I think trans people can like are probably better at making jokes about trans people,
Yeah. I mean,
but
like, if
it's not impossible
it's
to
not impossible,
think of.
but it is. We're gonna need a whole lot of improvement on that front. I mean, even if we
Yeah,
just like, even if we can now snap all the helicopter memes away, or like, did you assume my gender, etc. Like, three or four standard jokes. Like even then,
yeah.
what's fucking left? There's not a fucking whole lot.
I mean, I think there's a lot of left, but like, I think what most cis people face is the problem that the only jokes about trans people they can think of are transphobic, right?
Yes.
They always rely on like, um, oh, you're delusional, oh, you're like, yeah, I mean, or like you're ugly, or like whatever, right? And I mean, what my advice would be to like any cis person who thinks like, hey, I want, I don't know why someone would think this thought, but like if they think like, hey, I want to make jokes about trans people sometime, right? uh, if you want to touch that topic, I would say the pun is like a universally inoffensive form of joke. And like one example,
I mean,
I kind of rely.
universally you mean as a joke format? Because I can assume that there's ways to make puns quite offensive, but it's
Yeah, I mean, if there's another layer to it,
yeah,
uh, I
but
think so. Or if it's like, or if you use like a slur
yeah,
in it, and you're not like not of the group, I
mm-hmm,
mean, it's probably gonna offend a lot of people.
mm,
Personally, I wouldn't really care that much if like the thing which makes it funny is literally just like, oh, you used the word differently than I thought you would. I mean, sometimes there's like another layer to it, and that layer is like transphobia,
yeah,
right? But I mean, one example I always give of like a trans joke I made, right, was,
mm,
why would you get surgery for being a bottom? And I mean, I think that's kind of, yeah. I I, I don't really see how people could take offense to that if a cis person made it. But I mean, I think a lot of cis people would probably just rather not risk it at all.
yeah. It's I don't know. The thing is, if I had like a really edgy joke, I would need to be very confident about it because I need to be very confident that it's gonna be a hit. Because
Yeah, I mean,
I've had my misses in my time, but like I mean not the sort where I just like have I ever like done I've never done jokes that are like edgy in the sense that they involve like slurs that aren't just, the F word.
yeah, I mean, I think like if like Mayo did like that meme himself, right? That I described earlier, he probably would have gotten some shit. I mean, maybe it's not big enough for that, right?
That
But if
too.
like, if if just like a cis person, like of of like, let's say like more than 1,000 followers or something, if if they posted that meme, I think they would probably have gotten in trouble.
Yeah. Um, I mean,
So
that's
so with memes like that, it's probably safer to like, ask me.
it's.
But yeah,
I do wonder. I mean, what happens if you wanted to? Oh, I mean, speaking of Mayo,
yeah.
I mean, between like him and you know, other how do I say that? I don't even want to use like Latino, I guess. And even then, like that's not like you know what I mean, like like
Spanish
Mexico,
speaking.
yeah, Spanish speaking, it's like that kind of stuff. They do like just doing well. Well, their big word is, I suppose. They do like throwing it around.
I'm not sure seen
I
if
I
I've
I I,
really
I,
noticed that.
slightly. I mean, slightly, but I mean, it's not like uh constantly, but sometimes like it just gets dropped as an edgy thing.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think that kind of went past me. Like I didn't really pick up on that, or like I forgot. Like it didn't even register. Like yeah, but like yeah, I think it's edgy jokes. It's yeah. Well, my go-to like rationale is more or less just like ask yourself what makes it funny, right? And if like
A lot
the
of
thing that makes it funny is like bigoted, I
yeah.
mean, yeah, then don't make it.
I mean, sometimes, hmm, I feel sometimes the best jokes are the ones where, like, at the same time, you don't need to like think about it, but when you do think about it, it's not like something malicious underneath, right? It's just the right note where you don't have to expend like a bit of brain power to just make it click, but at the same time, it's not you
Can
know.
you give an example or
It's hard. It's hard because it's the sort of thing where it's just in the moment when you just see a meme, whatever. Mm,
yeah,
I wouldn't know. I just know that I've had this feeling a couple of times where I see a really good meme and it just hits that perfect note. Oh,
yeah,
oh
I'm
God,
not
oh God,
sure.
oh no, I think I know an example, and it's a meme Mayo did, but it's very edgy. It was actually very edgy. I can't believe you got away with that one. Wait, maybe.
Um, um, I mean,
But I mean,
I don't
wait,
know all the memes he did.
I can post. I might be able to find it and post it in the Discord. But
Sure.
well, to just explain it, it was just there was some disc. I was during like the past summer where there was just just the revolts, the black revolts, right, and just
Yeah,
chastening and just protesting against police brutality, and then notoriously just a special left com, let's say, decided it was the right time to post like quotes by Ingalls against like looting. Just lumpen proles, whatever. Looting is lumpen prole, and it's just like right as it's fucking happening. And so Mayo saw that, and he did
yeah.
a meme. You know, I need to find it. I need to find it. It's uh oh no,
I don't.
I found it. I found it.
Okay.
So that's the avatar of the left com itself.
Okay, that is. Oh, how did he get away with that? Oh my God.
I think because the thing is, like, everybody was like, not everybody, but just people who like saw that thing. There's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? There's like dead people who just got killed or maimed or whatever for protesting police brutality. So when I think when he posted it, like the people who saw it, it's like
They
oh,
they
this is.
kind of were angry at the person he quote tweeted.
I'm not sure if he even quote tweeted too. It's just people know who that avatar was, and so
Yeah.
and probably saw the post like going around, and like I guess it was like putting into words what the person.
Was it like? Do you know who it was? Like
Oh no,
someone I know,
no,
like
I don't think you know.
Proletariat Rising,
It's
or
no. It's a special left com that was friends with Amy Therese. I don't know if they still are.
ah,
It might have been. It might be like it's a one of two or three left comms that were kind of friendly with her and might have made her read Bordika or just the really weird like union like hate she has, right?
yeah.
Which like can sound like very left comish or ultra. That's the kind of stuff where she got it from. It's just like very like weird. There was like one time like Amy Therese just was quoting a Bordika text to seemingly support social democracy, but the very Bordika text was against social democracy. Basically, is it's just so fucking weird.
Her quote was making it seem like she
Well, it was
got out of
it was about like climate change. It was a quote where like Bordigo's like explaining how like the slogan "Let's make the rich pay" is sort of like fucking completely misleading, and it's just I don't remember the context, but like within
But
the
her
pro within the broader
the
context, within the broader context of the text, you realize that that quote, right, is just an indictment
yeah.
of like quite a lot of leftism or just like governmental state run things or well he was talking about the Communist Party in Italy post-war.
But she was posting it in the uh, with the thought like that it
No,
like meant the opposite of.
Amy Therese posted it and just quoted it to just like do this weird like climate denial stuff going on. Well, it's not like not explicit climate denial, but it's just like like it's any concern about the climate is like kind of bourgeois or
Oh,
and
that's really weird.
yeah, it was like no, it was really weird. I don't remember the exact context. Like it's really twisted and yeah, it's twisted.
I
Oh,
mean, I remember one time, which is kind of related, like people using text in like odd ways. There was like one time this like red lip anarchist type person. I mean, I say like anarchist with like quotes. With,
yeah,
they quoted a Malatesta piece, and that Malatesta piece was like arguing against reformism,
and
right?
they quoted
And
it.
he quoted it as supporting reformism, which like I
How?
mean it's so weird because Malatesta is like one of the easiest anarchists out there to read, right? Because he's like so straightforward. He's I mean it's really strange. It feels like a lot of people just project their what they wish a person would be like onto a text, right?
Or like they skim read it and then it just kind of stops there, I guess. Or they don't like reread it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to really know.
It also reminds me of like uh, you're familiar with Ryan Knight, right?
Yeah, well, I just saw this kind of like a Bernie guy who just like at some point picked up like State and Revolution. It was like soy facing over it.
Yeah. I mean, he picked up State Revolution and like he posted a quote from it, and the quote was something like um, bourgeois democracy is like democracy for the rich or whatever. I'm not sure what the quote was, but it was like an incredibly banal statement, right? Like
Yeah, I
just
remember
like
that. It was very
if
banal.
like if you like read State of Revolution and you get out of it like, oh, rich people bad. I mean, you might as well have not read it. I it's yeah. I mean,
But they're
I
like
think people
they're
like
picking
that.
up they're picking up on like the like what would be like a throwaway line and like where like the actual theoretical points that are being made are just it's not that it's just like it's a rhetorical flourish line almost, but it doesn't address the argument
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, I think um, there's like this kind of tendency of like a like general leftist, right? Like a kind of like person who's like, okay, I don't really care how we do it, but like as long as we get rid of capitalism and like this kind of like undecided person who's like who kind of like puts on a pedestal like both Lenin and like Kropotkin and like Makhno and like the anarcho-syndicalists and just like any uh, like project that could be like characterized as leftist, they kind of put on a pedestal without really thinking too hard about like yeah how these different strategies like uh, I mean, achieve different ends and like the like advantages and disadvantages of like certain uh, I mean strategies. It's really strange because like I mean if it's just like a person who's like okay, hey, I don't know a lot about like the differences here, but I'm not like gonna make any uh, major judgments here, then I can respect it. But like a lot of these people have kind of as like a baseline, like
Well,
um,
it a lot.
the
It feels like
Bolsheviks are good, the anarchists are good, um,
yeah, there's no
everyone
demarcation
that
at all. Like it's the left unity stuff. It's just like
yeah
it's just paper. I had like a uh I think I had a good tweet about this. I actually was pretty proud of myself. It did some numbers. Wait, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna read it. Yes, I'm gonna what the fuck? What? All right. So there was like this fucking wait. I'll show you. So there's this meme where it's just like Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny, right? You know, the rabbit season, duck season, but it's like
yeah
an anarchist and a tanky where there's the tanky is Daffy Duck with a Ushanka, Bugs Bunny has a the Spanish anarchist hat thing, and it's tanky season, anarchy season, and then there's Elmer Fudd, and the third like thing is like capitalist season, and then they look kind of off to the side.
are that with that got pretty big 140 likes. Yeah, I mean
And here's
it's
what I said. I quote tweeted it because that was meant to be positive. And I'm quote tweeting it, and I'm like, and I said, quote, I love how left unity stuff at its best is simply let's not talk about substance, as if that's not important to the end goals for the short, medium, and long term.
yeah I think you put that very well. I think it's I think one thing that kind of frustrates me too is like the people who the kind of anarchists, people who kind of go like left unity is bad because like look at history, tankies betrayed us or whatever, and like look at what Lenin did, and I mean I think that's like kind of ignoring the broader point because like it kind of like um, it I, I think it kind of leaves the door open for someone to come along and say like, oh, but what if we can trust each other now? Then we can work together. Like, no, the
It
the
personalizes
the
stuff. It really does
yeah
personalize. Like
yeah
it's sort of like
it
it's fucking kumbaya shit. It's just like
yeah
let's fucking hold hands, whatever. And it's like it doesn't like work like that. Like it's like personal, like like comradeship or just
yeah.
just being
It's
on
just why
speaking
can't we?
terms. Being on like kind of like speaking terms or friendly or just being able to have like a disagreement like that shouldn't imply just like okay, I'm gonna fucking roll over and I'm like and just
Yeah, I think it's just. I mean, I think it's missing the broader point because, like,
I mean, to be
yeah,
fair,
I mean,
a lot of
it
like
it kind of imagines an alternative scenario where like we can all work together in good faith, but that scenario has been ruined by uh, past events. But like, there's just fundamental incompatibilities, right?
yeah.
Which kind of like I have. It doesn't matter like how nice you are, how uh, like how much respect you have for like anarchists or whatever, or how much respect you have for like Leninists or for Lenin. If you have like a fundamental disagreement where you think like um, this strategy um, like plays into the hands of capital, like in whatever way, then like you can't resolve that. Like it's just like something you're there's this one piece of like this Jean, I think Jean Wire or something she's called. She translates like stuff for Bonanno, and she has a piece tuned arranged, and she says like she, she more or less short, argues against left unity by saying parallel lines don't meet. If they do, one has lost its essence, right? I
Hmm.
think that's a very nice way of putting it because like
Oh.
it kind of depersonalizes it. It's just like it's just the nature of different tendencies to have like strategies which are fundamentally incompatible, and that doesn't mean you can't like be friendly with people who disagree with you on major stuff, but like it means like as a political bloc, right? You can't work together. Like you, yeah. I mean, it's just a weird dream people have. Like,
But like, yeah, to be fair, I feel like a lot of that might have to do with the fact that um, people view the left as like they're kind of well, just the place to make friends, I guess, I suppose, because
yeah,
there's a complete fusion of like the sort of socializing spaces and leftist spaces or communist like like all this and also the dating stuff, the e-dating stuff. Yeah, but I mean,
yeah.
there's it's all like mixed in, and it kind of has to since it's social media stuff, and it's just like a bunch of people who are like disconnected like geographically, but like
Yeah, it's
what like that whole structure of how like the whole space has been configured as like you know this sort of like center that just has so many like functions, I suppose, for people who enter it. It just
yeah, but
internalize that, and I think that's like the left, and that's kind of like why there's like the left unity stuff, or like the people who are like very hell bent on like chasing other people out, even if they're correct,
I
by the way,
I mean I think there's
about wanting
like
that.
two. I think there's two kind of ways people I've seen talk about left unity, and it's like one is just like terminally online shit, right? Like you described, like it's they see like the online left as the left, and they see like their mutuals fighting over some stuff, right? And
Lauren described it pretty well to me. Is like it's very easy to just have like know what you're against than knowing what you're for, and that's basically
yeah,
what the left unity stuff is about, or the anti-fascism stuff, which also is kind
yeah.
of why there's so much like liberal stuff around that, and it's always very moralistic or just over like even if there's like you can be like moralistic about it, but then like you see like this how disproportionate it is to like the actual weight of like these kind of like issues, and so it just doesn't.
Yeah,
It's a
I think it's
cul-de-sac.
one group that's kind of like terminally online and they have kind of an energy of like, oh, my parents are fighting, and instead of their parents is like their Twitter mutuals or their favorite streamers or whatever. Um, and like, there's another group which, I mean, I think it's possibly even an even dumber perspective, right? A group that actually doesn't mean just online unity, they just mean on the ground organizing
Yeah,
unity, that like political blocs need to work to. I mean, I've argued with people like this before, and
we're going to
they
have
kind of,
Kautskyites, we're gonna have left comms, we're gonna have like insurrectionary anarchists, we're gonna have mutualists, we're gonna have like all of
and
them in the same mutual
it's
like in the same block, political block.
yeah, and it was like sure in
And it's fine like for like
you
mutual
can.
aid stuff, I guess,
I
but
mean, if your methods happen to align, it's not like I keep making this clear to like people I argue with this about. Like I'm not gonna say like if like my methods happen to align with someone who is like a completely different uh, organized organizational view, like I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm not gonna work with you because we're so different. I mean, of course not, but like as as working together as political blocks, that's like something. Even if I clarify like, oh, I don't mind working together when methods align, they they keep going to like, oh, but we can work together as political blocks too. I'm sure we can come to something in the middle, right? And it's like, okay, so you want something in the middle of a political party and an affinity group. What's in the middle of that? Tell me, because like it's it's something that uh, both of these groups that will have to compromise. Their critiques will apply equally to the thing in the middle as it does to like um, each other. So like,
Mm.
yeah, it's I don't know why people do that kind of stuff, but it's really just like I think it's really an immature position.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is. Though I do get it. I do get like let's say like well, the thing is, I don't view like my Twitter presence as some sort of like political statement, really. I mean,
Yeah,
it
me
is kind of
neither.
funny that I've had people tell me that they started reading like Bordiga because of me like shit posting or sometimes like no, I used to like post like quotes or whatever just from stuff I was reading, which I'm trying to get it back into. But it's like
Yeah, I
it's not
do that too.
primary. It is not like let's be honest. I'm basically like someone who's like been in the really like has kind of a rough like journey in life. Well, not like no compared to other people, no, but just like
I mean,
kind of like kind of like dead end where like
you
just
can always say that, right? Like compared to other people.
yeah, I mean, yeah, but what I mean is like I don't want like I had good parents. I had like like that
Yeah,
sort of thing. It's not it's it's more school stuff and just being kind of a dropout STEM lord attempt and yeah, just like
yeah.
not really knowing what the fuck I'm gonna do in my life.
The struggle of being a STEM lord. Yeah, I get it.
Oh, I actually fucking hate it. I mean, it's only because like I was able to like memorize stuff and like I guess I'm sort of witty, I guess, with this, you know, putting
Wait, how
numbers
does
together.
like being witty help with being a
No,
STEM
no,
lord?
not witty, but just no, clever. I meant clever in a sense that well,
Oh,
once I
yeah,
pick up on something, it works pretty. I don't I don't struggle too much, it seems. So when I do,
yeah.
it's
No,
like
that makes
really
sense.
hard blocks, but that probably might have been other psychological stuff. And also in the end, I'm not suited for that. Not suited to be a fucking stone lord. I would have fucking hated it. I would have fucking hated it
Yeah, me
so
neither.
much.
I'm so fucking terrible at like math and
I wasn't like terrible at it. Definitely
and
not.
physics and
Oh, I
chemistry.
hated physics. I hated physics. Absolutely fucking
Yeah,
hated
I
physics.
hate all that stuff. But like, I mean, yeah, yeah. I'm glad I dropped that. Like, there's like, I mean, I've discussed this with some people. There's like interesting differences between like, and I'm not sure how that tracks with like the Canadian school system. If it's like similar to the American one.
I wouldn't know. I get confused by how Americans talk about like their grades and what happens here.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's doubly complicated here because in Quebec there's like the cégep system and that was like kind of designed to um how do I explain this? Like there's a we had like an education deficit for like many decades because of well basically like the francophones here there's like the whole like linguistic divide going on and
yeah,
like there was like English bosses and just the majority like French speaking population were not that educated and it's only kind of recent that there's an effort to just bring them in line and so the our school system has its little quirks to encourage that and just not speed things along, but make it like more compact and just yeah.
Yeah, over here we have kind of like in like I mean one thing that just confused me was like middle school because like it apparently it's like 3 years and it's like um around like what was it like 11 to 13 or something. I'm not sure, but I think it's like I mean we don't have middle school here, and people when I say that to like an American, right? They go like, What? Then what do you do during those ages, right? Like, I mean, we just have more grades in elementary school and high school. I mean, why would you need three schools? Yeah, it's kind of weird to me, but like in high school, you kind of have like three levels, right? And you get recommended like a level like in at the end of elementary school, and like I think the lowest level is like 4 years, and like the middle level is like 5 years. The highest level is 6 years, and I did basically like uh, I got recommended like the middle level, right? And I, I I had like a habit of um, that I had gotten from elementary school, just like not really doing any homework, right? Because like when
Relatable.
we started getting when we started getting homework in elementary school, we um, like I always managed to have enough time to always finish it in like the lessons when we got when we got like free time to do things for ourselves. And so I kind of developed that habit. And in the first year of like uh, yeah of high school, I just completely butchered it because like I did basically nothing, right? And I still got like uh, what do you call it, like fine grades for English and uh, Dutch and history and you know those kind of subjects, but like math and that kind of stuff. I mean, I butchered it. So and French, I think we had in the first year. So I went to like the second level, the third level, like where you have like to do 4 years, and after that you can kind of level up, right? And so I ended up having to have physics and chemistry only for 2 years because like in the fourth year I could drop it, and like when you carry over, then like, you don't have to do it anymore. So I mean, so I kind of got lucky in that sense that like I only had to do 2 years of like all the horrible subjects except math, because math always, yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's really, really important for uh, graduating and whatnot.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I had to do like well, here's the thing. I got like delayed like a couple of years, like in what would be called like secondary school. I don't know what would be the equivalent, and it's maybe in America that's what you call high school or something. So I got delayed because like I had like a bunch of anxiety. I got bullied, whatever. I probably had PTSD from that. I mean, kind of got to the point I had to go to like a psych ward to just which was like really weird because all the other people in the psych ward like one of them had like hallucinated like drug problems like hallucinated like a bank of snow was like a like like piles of dead people, or there was like an obsessive compulsive, or just another one is just in French we call it mythoman, so it's just like somebody who just like makes shit up and believes it and just like makes these wild stories in their head. So I was like locked in with like these people, right? For me, I was just, I just like kind of accepted, like I wasn't like forced to go there. I went there because, what the fuck was I gonna do? I was completely trapped. I didn't like nothing was working for me. So I went there, and like the first like 2 weeks, it was so fucking weird. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why am I like this? Like, I felt like so weirded out in the sense like, oh wait, did they do a mistake? I feel like I don't feel like I'm anywhere near this like level of can't say like dysfunction, but just like I feel I'm not a heavy case. It's just very obvious what went wrong
I
with
mean,
me.
I kind of recently like
Mhm.
um, finished up, as you've probably seen me post about like Madness and Civilization by
Yeah,
Foucault.
but just to
And I
say,
think,
so there's that. But the funny thing is, they were the nicest people. That they were some of the first people that were actually very nice to me, and it was like very revealing personal experience. And after that, I just went to doing school by myself. I guess like you would just go to a class and there was a teacher you could ask some questions, but it wasn't regular classes. That's how I skipped like a I did like what I had to do to just, graduate in like a year or
yeah,
something. So that's that.
yeah, I mean, in like Madness and Civilization, I I won't pretend like I fully grasp like everything he said in there, but he has like brings up like examples of that like physicians themselves who like set up these institutions, these asylums, like he brings up examples of them, and like some of them are, I think, really illuminating. That like one was like I think like a housewife uh, who like kind of was like I think like depressed or something, and like she was considered cured when
Mm,
she did all her course again, right? Like
mm,
that kind of stuff. I think it's there's this one line in there that's like how how um, how like these institutions on, only really engage with like the parts of you um, that are seen, right?
mm.
Like it's um, wait, let me get the quote. It's like um,
So you'd be saying that it's kind of the same way that just looking at just like a marketplace, it's within capitalism, it is very misleading because it's just what you see. You don't see everything that comes before. You don't see the circulation. You don't see the abstract. You don't see like everything that happens before you get to the marketplace
um,
and every commodity and just.
no, I'm kind of more so mean. Let me get it. Here, the madman is obliged to objectify himself in the eyes of reason as the perfect stranger, that is, as the man whose strangeness does not reveal itself. The city of reason welcomes him only with disqualification at the price of this surrender to anonymity, right? So it's like it engages. Oh, here's another like he posted. It is judged only by its acts. It's not accused of intentions, nor are its secrets to be fathomed. Madness is responsible only for that part of itself which is visible. All the rest is reduced to silence. Madness no longer exists except as seen, right?
Hmm.
So like the thing is like the example I brought up earlier of like the housewife, right? Like what was she really cured, right? Like or like it doesn't really matter to the institutions. It matters that like she resumed her role to make as like as a housewife,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that's kind of like
Oh, and
I'm not sure how
it
well
is
that tracks for
definitely
your.
what happened to me with school, where
Yeah, because like
it was very obvious that I was like not just like what I talked about, but like even after when I was like in college, like trying to STEM Lord stuff, like it was clear that something was like off, but then the only thing they cared about is just putting me back in putting me back in the saddle. They didn't stop
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
else. It's very superficial.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, it's. It kind of reminds me of like. Do you remember like the Albia post of like
Mm.
it was about like therapy, and I
Oh
think she
yeah, I
got
remember.
into like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was like
People got really mad at her for just like pointed like it was just like Mark Fisher 101, I think. Just,
yeah,
we live in
it
a
was kind
capitalist
of like,
society.
and therapy exists to integrate you into capitalism, into society,
Which
as a functioning, which I mean, it's true.
and it isn't like a
It's
condemnation of like, well, it is like people took
it's
it
pointing out the
immediately.
limitations.
Yeah, pointing out limitations and also like it can still work. It can still work, but it's like that's also the function, and that doesn't like
Yeah,
what like it's something that I realize more and more that people don't pay attention to when you, when you make like such statements, right? We're talking like in aggregates. We're talking in aggregates in the sense that it isn't like it isn't saying, oh, that's just like a binary like truth value. It's just like usually when you just like compile you know the case studies or just what forms the subject that we're talking about, like in aggregate, the the observation that the therapy is made to integrate you into the system is banal, because if you're not integrated into the system, if like you're just if your mental health is like so shit that you can't work, even if like you're a very otherwise productive member of society, it's detrimental. So of course there's going to be like tools that are developed to help with that.
yeah. It's not like therapy isn't like made for people who who kind of like uh who aren't like impeded in like their ability to perform their like role in society, but like still deal with like some major uh, problems regardless of that, like that it doesn't impede their like basic functioning as like, yeah, as workers or as like students. Yeah, and I mean it's, yeah, there are like, I think, kind of therapists that like deal with that, but like if you get like assigned a therapist because like yeah, but then it's basically to restore you to basic functioning. That's
Hmm.
on
And
the
sometimes
whole its role.
sometimes the basic functioning is quite how should I say, like it, it
Miserable.
it is, yeah, it is miserable, because here's the thing, it's also something I've noticed because another thing, I recently got laid off, no fault of my own, because there's just like no work, and it's like
Yeah,
they're not gonna keep fucking paying me if they have nothing for me to do, even if I'm actually a good employee or whatever. So I definitely noticed, with all the free time that I had, how fucking dysfunctional I was. Or just, because I started like antidepressants like 3 days ago, I was just like, I gotta try something. Because I like
yeah,
like you get like capitalism gets you like so used to. Well, for me, it was it's like not, how do I say this? It's hard to know when you're tired of just because you did like wage labor for like 8 hours, and you just want to like veg out, or just not do anything else, and you're not going to pursue your interest or whatever. It's difficult to know if it's that, or if it's like you're actually something, you're depressed or whatever. And I kind of figured, I kept like being obstinate that it's just like, oh, now that I have time, I can just like sort of work on myself. As like, oh shit, I actually can't. There's like I have a fucking mental blockage, and
yeah,
this like work was almost a cope for that, because when you're told, like, here's the thing, for many people, being told what to do is reassuring of their anxieties. That's just how it is. And I don't like,
Yeah,
and like, there's that can manifest like many different ways. You know, just in the context of just work or just you. Well, how do I say this? It depends. There's like some people who just they need very much rely on the approval of others and need to check with them constantly, or just you know they can't like trust themselves too much because they feel they're always gonna mess up in some way,
yeah,
right? And it's okay. What was I saying? I lost track of what I was saying. Fuck.
yeah. No, I, yeah, I don't know exactly where you were going with that, but like, I think there's like, there's like this, um, like even if it's like a field you enjoy, I've seen this like, um, then like work kind of, um, it kind of like makes you, yeah. How do you say this? Like it kind of makes that thing which you enjoy into like the worst possible version of it, right? Like, I mean, yeah, it's yeah, and then even this, even if you then go home, right, and like you spend your free time um, doing other stuff, even then it feels like you're just. I mean, I'm talking like if you're like a 9 to 5 job. I think even then it feels kind of like you're kind of like going for like the easy for the easily digestible stuff because like you're not really in the mood to like think too hard about stuff. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like even in your free time, you're still controlled by, um, yeah, by the time you've spent working.
Hmm. Jeez.
I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's yeah, it's very frustrating to like to see like people say stuff like, "Oh, go to therapy," right? Like as if like therapy is like a fix
And
all.
and as usual, the
As like
people who always just will readily just kind of condescendingly tell people to go to therapy are people who probably would need it for other reasons, or maybe they are in therapy and
yeah,
then they just like it's just like yeah. I mean,
yeah,
there's always
or
there's
yeah,
always this thing, especially on Twitter. It's very obvious that it's very easy to reproach people things that you are guilty of, or just be very facetious and just the moment you break that you reveal anything about yourself, that's something that can be used against you.
yeah, yeah.
Sincerity
It's like
is always punished, and someone who just puts up a front constantly and just it's I guess I guess that's one of the consequent. I don't know which comes first, the front thing, where you're just like you're not even playing a character. You've kind of like what you have to do in public to just be liked or just be a big account or whatever. And then the other
I
point where
mean, it depends on what you mean by like a
you're
big
like
account.
it depends. I mean, around these
Because like
parts.
to some people, they tell me like, "Oh, you're a big account," and I think like,
I mean,
yeah, no,
after 10 or
I'm not.
20K followers, you're starting to be like, like kind of a
Yeah,
big.
that's my perspective as well. But like, maybe among those people, it's like, I'm not a big account. Maybe everyone just think like, I mean, not everyone. I can't imagine like someone with 100K followers thinks like, well, I'm not a big account. Look at those with millions. But like, yeah, I've seen different people uh, kind of differently refer to what is a big account. But like, yeah,
And I
I
get the
guess it's
impression, like,
uh,
well, it depends. I get the impression that all that like kind of encourages like the irony poisoning thing. Like it's the meme where it's just like the guy who's like the crying out Wojak, and then he has a bunch of masks on, and it just says like I'm on so many layers of irony I don't even know who I am anymore. I feel that describes unfortunately quite a bit of what would be considered like big accounts, I suppose. It depends. Like there's so many
Yeah,
like sections of like Twitter, honestly, because thing is
yeah,
there's a
it's
section there's a section of like the irony poison Twitter that I actually like because they seem to you know s- I don't know, they seem to have like good targets and just they don't overstep their bounds. There's another section which is just like is like well it's just so weird and it's obvious
I
that
think there's like a kind of a section kind of adjacent to like the Chapo crowd, right? Like they I find it just really insufferable.
I'm not even sure if they're
Like it's
Chapo adjacent. I think the Chapo people are they're not like I don't know if they started it, but
I I'm not sure if
maybe it's
they're
a
like
style.
I'm not sure if they're like adjacent to like the Chapo like podcasters themselves, right? But like they're like certainly adjacent to like the crowd that inhabit that like
Yeah, for sure. That's probably they're definitely their audience.
yeah, I mean that's like the insufferable irony poison part of Twitter, I think that like yeah, I mean they are kind of vaguely like anti-it pull, but like not so much that like it becomes like really obvious to like everyone, right? Like and yeah, they kind of have like a plausible deniability thing going on there, like Anna Slats or something, right? Like that's way beyond that. Like you, if yeah, like this crowd I'm talking about is kind of like in between like Amy Therese and Anna Slats and whatnot,
The Red
and like
Scare people. Oh yeah, the
yeah,
Red Scare and yeah, that's like some final boss shit. Apparently,
and I'll
also Amy Therese got banned again this morning.
seriously,
Yes, she got her account back. She
oh
just got
my god,
fucking banned.
oh my god.
uh,
What, do you know why?
don't know why, but she's been like posting so much fucking deranged shit. Honestly, like, of course she's gonna get
Yeah,
fucking. She got.
yeah, she's, I mean, she's far more open with it than like the crowd. I mean, that's like kind of in between her and like also like the social democrat like news people, right? Like
Yeah,
they're kind of also like adjacent to those, like Sam Cedar and like Kyle Kalinske and like those people. And I don't mean those people, but like their audiences, you know? Like,
yeah. Because a lot of them don't
and
actually like electoralism and are kind of black pilled on it. So
yeah,
and they don't like the being associated. They don't like this whole like being associated with liberals at all. They don't like their this sort of like a
yeah,
very fake aesthetic of caring. So sometimes then they go too far and then they just don't care at all and just say or do dumb shit or they're just bigoted in some ways.
yeah, yeah. But it's always like enough layers of irony that you can kind of like, I mean, that like a person who thinks as themselves of themselves as like supporting like marginalized groups, that they can kind of reflexively like defend them, right? Whereas with like Anna Slats or Amy Therese, it's not really possible with them, right? Like to do that like reflexive defense, which which reminds me like I used to think like Peter Coffin was kind of like in in the sphere I was just talking about with a bit like plausible deniability,
There's
but
no
I think
plausible
he
deniability there
yeah,
anymore.
not anymore. I used I mean I think he was less like
They were I actually don't know their
Oh,
pronouns.
yeah. I mean, I think they were like less blatant about like their like
No, the mask is off.
yeah.
Look,
I mean, it's
look. Just like how to say this. Like I would
I
know
see
like
them. Yeah, I see them like retweeting like I've seen them retweeting Anna Slats too, and like I remember that like do you remember that like of them like posting them like responding to someone posting a Stalin
yeah
book at them,
they
right? Like
recommended historical dialectical materialism by fucking Stalin.
yeah, and they said like very good.
Very good.
It,
Which is what is it? Thing is, I don't want to do like
but like
just like a savage class analysis, but what is it with fucking like dumbass fucking media personality crackers all turn out to be just fucking Stalinists in the end, or just like being adjacent to it, but they're just like too like they're too cowardly to just outright identify it, but they will do like run interference for all of it.
I think it's I'm I think one big thing is like do you know like from the Antifada podcast like
Mhm.
the, as a worker guy
Yeah.
one time he said like and I think he put it very well he said like he prefaced it as like oh this is going to be controversial take or whatever and he phrased it like in a controversial way I suppose but like he said anti-Americanism is the anti-imperialism of fools right and I think that's what's more or less going on
Oh,
uh,
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
It's just like they just look at like America and like they see like all the horrible shit America's done, and
They
I
feel
wonder
guilt.
like how
They feel guilt about
it,
it. But the thing is, they don't
I
feel guilt about it in the correct way, as in like they don't like acknowledge the like. It feels like they want to detach themselves from it personally, but like
yeah
if you're gonna like take it to like a logical conclusion, like you have to realize, okay, like you're not that I don't care about the responsibility stuff, but like you are involved in like probably the deaths of countless human beings because like you happen to just be a United States citizen basically, and it's still
yeah
a colonial like empire.
thank God you're Canadian. No,
No,
but
yeah, just so you know, like I mean, it's kind of known, but the Canadian like
yeah I
all
know
the fucking mining companies are in Canada. Like Canada is fucking horrific.
yeah I
All
mean
they
it's I think a lot of Canadian liberals like or
Oh,
social
they're fucking
democrats or whatever.
delusional. They're fucking delusional.
Yeah, they like to like. Wait a minute. I think they like to like do thing of like, oh, we're in like the good country, right? Like, and kind of downplay all their shit by that. Wait, can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I unplugged my earbuds. Yeah, but like about that anti-Americanism thing, I think it's. I kind of wonder how much Noam Chomsky has played into this, right? Because like he's like one of those. Um, and I guess that's another thing him and like Parenti have in common. Like they already have a lot of things in common, but like another thing they have in common, I think, is like that they kind of. Um, and I don't think Chomsky means to do this because, like, as much as much problems as he has, he's not really like a campist, right? He's not really like, yeah, he, his politics like go a little further than like just anti-Americanism. But he's written like a lot of stuff about um, the misdeeds of America and whatnot,
Yeah.
and he's kind of like an entryist uh, point for like people interested in like more radical stuff. Like all the liberals know Chomsky is like, oh, he's like the anarchist guy or whatever, and like yeah, it's but like and they all respect him a lot, even though they really don't know like his politics all that well. And yeah, I think like when people like that become more interested in like um, more radical stuff, they they get into Chomsky more or like into Parenti more, and like they have a lot of stuff which like is about America bad, right? And like to be fair, America is bad,
Yeah.
but like I think
It
if
mistakes
you're
the
bombarded,
they think it's because America bad because it's America and not because it's a fucking state and that like anybody any moment America is gone, there's gonna be another state that's gonna do all the similar fucking shit and
yeah, I mean it's a very powerful country, so like it's going to use that power to like consolidate its position of power. Like, yeah. So I mean, but like, and I think that someone like Chomsky um, doesn't mean to play into that, but because he functions as like an entryist point, and like he writes so much about it. The main message I think people get from that is like, okay, America bad, and then like they maybe come across like Parenti and like, oh, America bad, and like,
oh maybe someone else is
what
good.
is what? Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like yeah, and then like all the criticisms of like those other countries get kind of like characterized as like a defense of America because like pick a side, right? Like yeah, it's very annoying.
Hmm. Oh my god, I've lost track time. What? Oh my god, we've almost
Yeah,
gone 2 hours. Jeez. I,
yeah.
my god.
It's it's past like 10 p.m. here.
Yeah, here it's like 4:16 and like I only went to sleep at like 5 a.m. and I woke up at like 10 or something because apparently the
I'm not sure.
side effect of my stuff is apparently insomnia, or at the very least like I need to just basically make sure I go to bed and just stay there, else like I will just be fucking wired and just focus on anything else.
Yeah, I'm not sure how late I don't really keep track of how late I went to sleep, but probably pretty late. Yeah,
So this was low hanging fruits with Constance and Elyssa
yeah.
signing out.